This is an entry to Classy Wales One Line More contest, or so I hope. The Lower East Side is a neighborhood I hold near and dear to my heart. It has amazing food, amazing nightlife, and gardens aplenty, but has some crime and, well, it's pretty unclean a lot of the time. It also has a lot of subway lines that just so happen to barely touch the neighborhood or just leave the neighborhood underserved by rapid transit. Thus, people want reliable rapid transit that has the walk not as the main centerpiece of their journey. So, the MTA made the M14 Select Bus Service Select Bus Service. This has been wildly successful, but these bus routes are over capacity during rush hours. How can we fix this? That's easy. A reroute of the 2nd Avenue subway. The main purpose of the 2nd Avenue subway has been to relieve the Lexington Avenue line and the M15 Select Bus Service, which are always overcrowded during rush hours. I can't say if it has done this, as I don't live in East Harlem to say anything about that, but what I can say is that after riding the M15 Select Bus Service, most people get off at 14th Street both ways. The bus even gets seats freed up after 14th Street. That's how much people get off. The lower Manhattan area of the M15 Select Bus Service doesn't see as much ridership as the rest of the M15 Select Bus Service, even proportionally. So we don't have to worry about any "what about a quicker alternative for the Lexington Avenue line" arguments. They're not that justified anymore. If they serve 14th Street and have a transfer to the L train, the 2nd Avenue subway will be utilized appropriately. Please say so in the comments if you disagree and why. Constructive criticism is always good. Alright, so what would the route look like? There would be a change in the route at 16th Street, where the line would curve onto 14th Street to run below the L train tracks and stop at 1st Avenue. Then the train would make a wide curve from 14th Street and 1st Avenue to 11th Street and Avenue B. I chose Avenue B/Clinton Street as the avenue this train line would run on, so the train line would cover a huge swath of underserved city while also still having connections to the F/M and J trains at Delancey, Essex. This train would unfortunately not really relieve congestion on bus routes like the M9, as the T train would have to have prospective riders in the East Village take the T from 9th Street to Delancey, Essex, and have them transfer to either the J train to Bowery or the F train East Broadway, which are both just one-stop trips. But I made it like this so the T train could still retain its connection to the B and D trains at Grand Street. A bunch of people used this station, and a connection to Grand Street B/D station on the 2nd Avenue subway is invaluable for this fund to get as much patronage as the MTA wants it to. Connections to every single 6th Avenue service and Nassau Street/Jamaica Avenue service would most likely be worth the extra $2 to $3 billion the MTA may have to spend on this project if they're ever to pursue this project. This is just an estimate, as the MTA loves bloating the prices of projects to extremes the transit world has never seen before. Also, the bedrock in the East Village and the Lower East Side isn't as present as up in Midtown, the financial district, and Uptown. The foundations of buildings may actually be compromised if you don't bore the tunnels deep enough. The MTA would most likely have to pay for any buildings that may need their foundations secured so that they don't fall apart when the trains pass by or when the tunnel is being constructed. As someone who lives in a tenement, my building shakes when more than one truck chills on my street. There's a bunch of tenements in this area. That would probably require a lot more secured foundations than were made when they made the first phase of the 2nd Avenue subway. That's why I ramped up the cost of this already extremely costly project that much. But then again, I'm not an architect or geologist. Please tell me if I'm wrong. Speed of the trains would be the Achilles heel of this subway line. Because of how we would need to structure this line, we would at least need 2 sharp 90-degree turns getting on and off 14th Street. My plan also has a connection to the B/D trains at Grand Street retained, so we would need a sharp S-curve after Grand Street. Speeds on this line would be horrendous. There's a lot of cons with this proposal. The point of a public transportation agency is to serve the people with a way to get places without a car, preferably quickly and comfortably. The MTA struggles with the comfortability part, but they can nail the quick part. This doesn't really nail any of those. But look at the biggest positive: ridership. We could have people from the East Village, Lower East Side, and Chinatown travel along the T for shopping trips, work, or just leisure. Most people ride the M9 bus route because it is the only direct link from the East Village, more specifically Alphabet City, to Chinatown without a 15-minute walk involved. Unfortunately, this bus route is ridden with delays. About 3,000 people ride the M9 every day according to the 2023 annual ridership statistics daily average. We could take, let's say, 66% of that ridership and slot that number onto the T train. That's at least 2,000 people riding this T train section. Don't forget people that would rather ride this train for a maybe 1-seat ride and then ride the M14 Select bus service and transfer to what subway line they need to get to where they need to go. The subway line would definitely have more than 2,000 subway riders, and certainly more than the proposed alignment. The main purpose of this plan is to free up capacity on the M9 and the M14 Select bus service, which are usually over capacity during rush hours, and in the case of the M9, always at capacity because the bus decides to take 45 minutes to come. Yes, 2 ships got dropped. I'm totally not going insane now. Totally. Yes, this happened to me. The 2nd Avenue subway being rerouted into the Lower East Side, Alphabet City, and Chinatown would do wonders for everyone that lives in these areas. Many people travel in between these neighborhoods, live in Alphabet City for cheap rent, get groceries in Chinatown, get back at home, then chill at East River Park till it's dark out. This is all achievable with the buses here, but what if we had a train line here instead? The T train. That would certainly work wonders, but there are simply too many problems with this plan. The engineering of the line would not be ideal, to say the least. Plus, with my version, we have a pretty sharp S-curve after Grand Street. Just no. The MTA would not want their overdue 2nd Avenue subway being delayed even more by building this. The best we can hope for is increased M14 Select bus service and M9 service. At least that's actually attainable.
This stop is Avenue C and East 23rd Street.
Thank you for watching this video. This is a last-minute video that I wanted to make for Classy World's One Line More video contest. I was going to make a video on how we can restore the Lower Montauk branch will eventually release, but Capcom got banned in the US. I was not about to restart making that video for the 3rd time in a row, so why not make this video? Thanks for watching this. Have a good night, day, or whatever.